Welcome back to part 3 of how to grow your email list from scratch. So if you've been following along, you'll realize that we set up our funnel to get emails, right? But we haven't been playing around in it because that is not the main thing that you want to focus on when you're setting all this stuff up. That's why I haven't gone back to revisit that. And that's why I'm doing these things in order to kind of show you how important these other pieces are in building out that email list. So yesterday we went and we did a little bit of research. I shouldn't say yesterday. I don't know if this is going to be the next day or not. We went and did a little bit of research on what our ideal client is struggling with, their words that they use, that kind of thing. So we took some notes, right? I did the acupuncturist example, and then we also briefly talked about, chronic pain. So like assuming maybe you are an acupuncturist and you help people with chronic pain. And if you haven't watched those other parts, I'll link to them either up here on this video or down in the description. So with that being said, we're ready to start putting together our thing that we're going to give them in return for them giving us their email address. The freebie or the lead magnet. You might hear those terms interchangeably or used interchangeably. So anyway, if I come here and I look at, here, I'll just see if I can make this bigger because you probably can't see it very well. If I look at the notes that I took about what these acupuncturists are struggling with, it seems to me the overall problem is that they want a more sustainable acupuncture practice, but they don't want to have to do these weird marketing tactics that take a lot of time and reduce their credibility. So things like social media and ads and search engine optimization and running discounts, because that's stopping them from reaching, the sustainability in their practice. They need to have that financial sustainability. And also is not relying on word of mouth all the time, which can be unreliable, right? Maybe that makes their business fluctuate a lot depending if people are talking or not, right? So if you were to do this with the other example, let's say like chronic pain, some of the things that we noticed that people were struggling with were, in general, they overall just want something that is actually going to help. They've tried all these different things. So if you were someone who knew how to treat chronic pain, for example, and you knew a really quick, simple solution. Let's say, for example, you're an acupuncturist. Maybe you have acupressure points that they can apply in the next 10 minutes to start feeling relief. Well, that would be a great lead magnet or a great free thing to lead with, because you're showing them that you can actually get them some quick wins. And then that's a lot easier for you after you have their email to just be like, hey, do you want actual long-lasting results? You can, visit me for acupuncture kind of thing. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to actually go and quickly create that free thing. So let me just minimize my face here. And I'm going to show you a way to do this that is super simple. It's not overcomplicated. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. And I'm also just going to kind of show you some other examples that I've come up with. So for me, for example, if you haven't seen the other parts, I help acupuncturists specifically with their email marketing. So you can see here that I already have a few lead magnets that I've created. So I've got my 7-day email marketing challenge. I've got email content, AI prompts, that kind of thing. And I want to create a new one based on what we're building out here, right? So I'm thinking that I could do a simple document like this. These are just Word documents. So I've just gone into my Google Drive which you can get for free if you have a Gmail account, and just created a new Word document. And I like delivering things this way because it's super easy for you later down the road to make changes to it if you need to. Some people will deliver things in a way where they make videos or they have a PDF or something like that. But the problem with those things is that it's a lot harder for you to go and change, because if you're linking to, let's say, a series of videos from your page, well, then you have to go to your page and change those links and all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you just made a Google document like this, you can put the links, you can still have videos and link to them in here. But then in the future, let's say you shot a new video that's just better quality, all you got to do is just come in the Google Doc and change it. And then that way on your page, which we're going to go back to in the next part of this series, and you'd have to go and like change all the links out and that kind of thing, and change it in the emails and that kind of thing, right? So that's why I like using Google Drive elements like a Google Doc. So I'm thinking, okay, so if we look at this guy, it's like, what could I create for these people that give them a quick win? Well, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking that a lot of these practitioners probably already have a list of clients, and they probably have their email addresses. So what I'm going to do is create a quick guide on how to get more bookings from your existing clients. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'll quickly just give it a title. Let's say get more guide to more bookings. I don't know, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Like I said, you could always come back and swap it out later. And then all I want to do right now is just quickly outline it. So let's just write down in point form like the 5 key points. So one is that you already have a list of buying clients, essentially, right? Email is where it's at. Writing, let's say I'll give them like 5 key tips on writing emails that will convert readers into booked clients. And then maybe I give them, let's say, 5 email topics that convert readers into booked clients. And then maybe my last point, and this is key to this free thing, is you want a call to action to work with you, right? So for me, I might link this to my call calendar, call to action, one-on-one marketing consult, right? And then from there, you kind of have an outline. And then from here, you just need to go in, sort of fill in the blanks. So, existing list of clients with email addresses, and existing clients have already bought. So like a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. I don't know if you've heard that before, but that's like a marketing ism where they say that a buyer is a buyer is a buyer, right? Which is why in the world of business, you'll notice that a lot of times, many businesses, and you'll see this in many different forms, they start off with something very, very low cost, and then they'll upsell you, right? So that's kind of the idea behind a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. It's a lot easier to turn a buyer into a buying again buyer, if that makes sense. So let's see if there's anything else I can think of in that area. They're low-hanging fruit. They already trust you, right? That kind of thing. And then where email's at, maybe I'll just talk about like some of the key reasons why email is so important, like stats on how many people still use email, stats on how many businesses email their clients regularly, and do it well. What else? It's just easy, right? Easy and affordable marketing. And anyway, I think you get the point. So basically, you're just gonna kind of go in and fill this out like that. And this is what we call minimum viable product, right? So I just want you to come in here and do this. And then like for each of these points, write like maybe one sentence, right? Write one sentence about each of these points. And that's your minimum viable product. So basically, you're just making it understandable. We're not making it fancy. Don't worry about the way that it looks, because this is, again, just like the landing page that we started with, it's one of the things that people get caught up on. They feel like it has to look pretty and be perfect and all this. The problem with that is that's where most people get stuck. They're focusing on the wrong thing. But the fact is that if somebody is an ideal client for you and they get this thing, even in minimum viable format, just so that they can like get the information and apply it, that piece alone will grow your list and help you get more clients. The making it look fancy, that's just a bonus afterwards. That maybe might make it easier for somebody to consume, but it's not going to be the thing that like makes them convert necessarily. Unless you are a designer, then that's a different story, right? Then that might be, anyway, I think you get my point. So now that we have that, you can see that I have my guide in here. And so all we're going to do is just right click on it, and we're going to go to sharing options, share. And then what we want to do is we want to make this, anybody that has this link. So right here where it says general access, and right now it's restricted. So it's saying that only people with access can open this link. But I want to change this to anybody who has this link can view it, right? There are other options for view, comment, etc. But I just like to keep it as view, and then you can get your link. So that's it for today. Your only task to follow along with this tutorial is to create this free document here. So go ahead, create that, make it minimum viable product. It obviously, if you have the time to make it, with headlines and make it look kind of nice and stuff, go for it. But do not spend more than one day on this. Get it done, and then you will have this ready to go for our next tutorial, and I'll see you in there. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you get notified of the next parts coming on this. And if you want to follow along with me on this tutorial in the software and everything, there's links down below to get that software on a free trial. Plus, you could join my free Facebook group, and I will see you on the next video.